Rise and shine, Rwanda. It's Monday the 29th of June. Coming up on today's Rise and Shine Rwanda, we talk to two resilient Burundians who cherish the business-as-usual mantra. We'll learn that age is nothing but a number in today's Meet the CEO segment. And a thorough discussion on the outrage and countrywide protests against General Karake's arrest. Good morning, it's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Fidelis Kangwa.
Right, and Makeda and Arnold are out for the day due to unforeseen circumstances, but the show has to go on and we will hold it down for
sure.
Right,
for sure.
Right.
You know us.
All right, so over the next hour, we'll bring you all the latest news, sports, and business headlines from here in Rwanda and around the world. Fidelis, what do you have for us today in the money?
Well, it's almost end of the month, and you know, it's probably my most favorite time of the month because it's Meet the CEO time. So I have something good.
That has become one of my favorite segments of the show.
Trust me, this one you're going to love.
I know a lot of people look forward to it too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, all that and more still to come. But first, Rise and Shine story of the day. With the situation being more and more tense by the day and thousands of people fleeing neighboring Burundi, you would think most cool and way to go back home. Well, two media colleagues of ours, who just happen to be a real-life couple, have a slightly different perspective. They have vowed to keep their careers going no matter the country. They are as relentless as they get. Take a look. Meet Tony and Alida. They are the epitome of being thorough. They both came to Rwanda about a month ago after the situation in Burundi had deteriorated. But do not cry for them. They're not looking for pity. They mean business.
On a créé une boîte qui s'appelle Casecom et qui est une boîte de communication. C'est une boîte qu'on a créée au début de l'année en 2015. Donc moi je venais juste de terminer 7 ans en tant que chargé de communication dans un projet de l'Union européenne, un projet de bonne gouvernance. Et puis après je me suis lancé dans le privé.
Moi j'ai mis en place Casecom parce qu'avant j'exerçais un métier de journaliste. J'étais dans le journalisme pendant 7 ans. Et voilà, donc avant j'étais à la radio et après on a fait la télé.
The twosome who happens to form a real-life couple are wasting no time and have just registered their audio-visual company in Rwanda.
La première chose, c'était qu'on vient s'installer ici et travailler, donc la vie continue. D'ailleurs, c'était l'un de nos objectifs presque au début de l'année, vers le mois de mars, on pensait déjà venir ici pour voir les opportunités qui existent. Et bon, on a un petit peu traîné parce que Alida bossait sur un spot pour PSI, et moi j'étais sur une autre consultance. Et ça a un peu traîné et dès le déclenchement de la crise, on s'est dit, voilà, c'est le temps, il faut y aller. Et on est venu vraiment en se disant, c'est les aléas de la vie, c'est vrai qu'on quitte notre pays, notre famille, mais on s'est dit, voilà, on vient se battre ici, on vient vraiment créer notre société. D'ailleurs, la semaine dernière, on s'est fait inscrire à Rwandan Development Board, RDB, donc on a fait inscrire notre société et maintenant donc, on est opérationnel. Et ce qui est bien ici, c'est qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup de paperasse à faire, c'est 24 heures. On a notre propre entreprise et c'est tout.
Je trouve qu'il n'y a pas assez de publicité, il n'y a pas assez d'émissions qui sont vraiment de qualité, qu'on peut vraiment qualifier de professionnels et de créativité en plus. Il y a cette touche-là qui manque ici, la créativité dans l'audiovisuel, des émissions de qualité, des spots publicitaires qui vraiment montrent cette touche-là de professionnalisme.
How are they looking to add to what's already happening in media here in Rwanda?
L'Afrique, c'est le prochain Eldorado en matière de télécommunications. Maintenant, au Rwanda, je pense que la majorité des gens ont des téléphones sur lesquels il y a Internet. Et la télévision, je suis sûr qu'elle va passer également sur Internet. Et donc, ce qui se passera à la télévision, tout le monde pourra le regarder sur son téléphone, avec les podcasts des émissions, des infos, etc., des publicités. Et donc là, on revient à la question en disant, voilà, l'audiovisuel sera très, très important avec le développement, le boom des télécommunications ici en Afrique.
Il faut que les gens s'adaptent, il faut que ces gens-là qui ont des choses à montrer, qui ont des choses à vendre, s'adaptent à ce genre d'outils de communication.
As resilient as they get. Regis Sheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda. And joining us in studio now is Alida Awunimana and Tony Sabimana from Kazecom. Bienvenue à l'émission.
Merci.
C'est un grand plaisir de vous accueillir, pas seulement parce que votre histoire, votre parcours est unique, mais surtout parce qu'on sait ce qui est en train de se passer au Burundi aujourd'hui. C'est très facile de s'apitoyer sur le sort de ce qui se passe là-bas et de ne pas avancer, de ne pas continuer à faire avancer ses projets personnels ou projets en couple. Tony, c'est difficile de laisser la famille derrière, c'est difficile de laisser le pays derrière, mais qu'est-ce qui a été cette chose qui a fait que vous vous êtes dit on va quand même continuer malgré que tout ça est en train d'arriver?
Oui, comme tu le dis, c'est vraiment difficile de laisser la famille derrière, de laisser ses biens et de laisser notre très joli pays derrière. Mais il se fait que quand même, maintenant, actuellement, il est très très difficile de travailler dans le privé. Voilà, donc c'est vraiment difficile. Les conditions ne sont pas là. Voilà, donc le fait que c'est vraiment impossible de travailler dans le privé a fait que on s'est dit voilà, on va pas se laisser mourir de faim. Voilà, l'aventure continue. Et donc, comme nous sommes déjà entrepreneurs, on s'est dit voilà, maintenant le Burundi ou bien le Rwanda, nous faisons partie de l'East African Community. Ça veut dire qu'on peut s'installer où on veut, pourvu qu'on ait les capacités, pourvu qu'on ait l'envie. Et on s'est dit voilà, donc le Rwanda, on connaît quelques gens, c'est à côté, nous avons à peu près la même culture, à peu près la même histoire. On s'est dit, voilà, c'est le moment de venir et de prospecter le marché.
Alida, quand on parle de Kazecom, qu'est-ce que vous apportez sur le marché qui n'était peut-être pas là ou quelle est la touche que vous allez apporter au paysage de l'audiovisuel ici au Rwanda?
En fait, comme je l'ai dit dans le reportage, donc c'est la qualité du service qu'on va offrir sur le marché qui, je ne sais pas trop, mais qui reste à désirer. Donc voilà, donc Kazecom est une société, une agence qui rassemble des professionnels dans le métier, qui ont un long parcours dans le journalisme, dans l'audiovisuel, dans la réalisation et tout. Donc voilà, donc c'est cette touche de qualité de service là qu'on amène ici au pays, on va bien sûr s'adapter par rapport au climat des affaires ici, mais c'est cette touche-là de qualité, service de qualité, audiovisuel, avec des spots, avec des micro-programmes, avec beaucoup de comment dire,
de savoir-faire. Vous parliez aussi de créativité et de professionnalisme.
De professionnalisme, ok. Donc c'est ça en fait qu'on vient avec, cette touche-là de plus qu'il y avait sur le marché. Je suis sûre et certain que nos produits vont avoir...
il y aura une demande pour ça. C'est une équipe de combien de personnes? Ça fonctionne comment? Est-ce que vous avez une équipe qui est restée au Burundi qui doit vous suivre ici? Est-ce que c'est une équipe qui est ailleurs? Ça fonctionne comment?
Ok. À Bujumbura, j'avais une équipe. On avait un réalisateur, un caméraman, un monteur et un cadreur aussi avec la lumière et le son. Donc c'était une équipe d'environ 5 personnes. Voilà. Donc ils sont restés déjà au pays, mais en fait c'est l'opportunité. On trouve ici l'opportunité, donc on va les faire venir ici. Mais ici, je suis entrée en contact avec trois jeunes qui sont aussi dans le métier. Voilà, donc on a pour l'instant, je suis en train de travailler avec les personnes sur place, les Rwandais, tout en espérant que l'autre équipe va me rejoindre. Et aussi, j'ai trouvé aussi que voilà, il y avait aussi des gens avec qui je pouvais travailler, avec qui on pouvait travailler et qui ont aussi un savoir-faire.
Donc, si l'opportunité, bien sûr, se présente.
Tony, quand on va à RDB pour enregistrer sa compagnie, les gens croient que c'est un mythe, hein, le 24 heures que ça prend pour pouvoir enregistrer sa compagnie. Ça a fonctionné comment? Vous y êtes allé comment? Parle-nous un peu du processus.
Bon, en fait, comme on voulait enregistrer notre société, on a un petit peu posé les questions à nos amis. On nous a dit, voilà, c'est RDB, on y est allé. Et on a fait la file un petit peu avec les autres. Mais ce qu'on avait fait avant, c'est qu'on pouvait également s'inscrire en ligne, donc sur Internet. Mais bon, comme on voulait aussi poser 2 ou 3 petites questions, nous sommes allés physiquement. Et quand on est arrivé, on a fait la queue avec les autres. Et puis, Alida a fait inscrire la société. Et puis, on est revenu le lendemain. Il y a juste un formulaire, ce qu'on fait, les contacts, etc., le domaine dans lequel on travaille. On ne demande pas il n'y a pas d'argent à payer, on ne demande pas de statut à faire, etc. Voilà, c'est contraire au Burundi. Donc,
il n'y a pas beaucoup de paperasse. Hein.
Au Burundi, il y a de la paperasse, c'est rapide, mais quand même, il y a de la paperasse. Mais ici, c'est gratuit, puis on te donne ton numéro de fiscal, etc. Et puis,
quand on parle du Burundi, est-ce qu'on garde quand même le pouls de la situation, le thermomètre de la situation pour avoir une idée de ce qui se passe là-bas?
Bien sûr, on est toujours en contact avec nos familles, avec nos amis, et on suit ce qui se passe là-bas.
Les élections qui arrivent demain, enfin aujourd'hui et le 15, vous appréhendez ça comment?
Avec de la peur, bien sûr, parce qu'on ne sait pas ce qui va se passer. Est-ce que vraiment il y aura les élections? Est-ce qu'il n'y aura pas les élections? Est-ce que les gens vont répondre avec la situation qui vient de se passer en ville? Il y a beaucoup de grenades, surtout dans les quartiers contestataires. Donc, est-ce que vraiment il y aura cette dynamique-là d'aller voter? On ne sait pas encore. On va essayer de comprendre la situation.
Alors apparemment, vous aviez déjà décidé, même avant que la situation ne s'envenime, mais qu'il y ait tous les problèmes qu'on a vus dernièrement, vous aviez déjà décidé quand même de venir à Kigali, tenter votre chance. Quand on est une famille et qu'on a des enfants, comment on planifie ce genre de choses?
En fait, c'est tout à fait normal parce que quand on est dans le secteur privé et que les marchés ne suivent pas et qu'il y a une boîte là qui doit fonctionner et qu'il y a une famille là qui doit fonctionner mensuellement, il y a des factures à payer, il y a donc la vie de tous les jours. Et donc voilà, on se demande où on va. Et donc on a dépassé cette étape-là d'aller demander de l'emploi. On est dans l'entrepreneuriat, donc on doit se débrouiller. Et que le climat, en fait, des affaires, ça a commencé à se détériorer au mois de janvier. Et voilà, on avait on a fait 3 mois sans vraiment pas beaucoup. Il n'y avait pas beaucoup de boulot, il n'y avait pas de contrat en cours.
La clientèle n'était pas là. Hein.
Voilà, donc ça ne suivait pas. Les marchés, c'était vraiment... il y avait un climat pas très favorable dans le business. Donc voilà, on s'est dit, on a jusqu'au mois de mars, on voit si la situation s'améliore. Et finalement, on est arrivé au mois de mars, il n'y avait pratiquement pas grand-chose à faire. Et on s'est dit, voilà, donc on emballe les affaires, on va à Kigali, on va voir ce qui se passe.
Le paysage audiovisuel au Rwanda, ce que vous avez pu voir depuis que vous êtes là ou ce que vous voyez déjà quand vous étiez encore à Bujumbura, qu'est-ce que vous pensez que vous pouvez vraiment apporter à ce paysage?
Disons que le paysage est en train de se développer parce que, à part la télévision nationale sur laquelle nous sommes maintenant, il y a des télévisions privées qui sont en train d'émerger. Il y a 6 ou 7 chaînes privées. Et ce qu'on pourra apporter également, c'est d'autres programmes, des documentaires, des programmes qui sont en accord avec, disons, les politiques du gouvernement en matière d'environnement, etc. Il y a des programmes de sensibilisation, des micro-programmes, ou bien du cinéma ambulant sur différentes thématiques. Et je pense qu'il y a des lacunes au niveau du contenu des émissions. La plupart des émissions, s'il y a des infos, ou bien sont plus dans l'entertainment. Et voilà, il y a des programmes qui manquent, des culturels, politiques, etc. Et ce qu'on voit, c'est vrai qu'il y en a, mais il y a pas une très très grande qualité. Et puis après aussi, il y a une sorte le fait que les télévisions, des fois, meublent les espaces avec des programmes de la BBC, etc. Et là, je pense qu'il y a vraiment un créneau à prendre. Il y a moyen de proposer des choses intéressantes pour le public rwandais.
Alida, quand on a un passé journalistique, j'imagine que ça te chatouille déjà de vouloir repasser devant la caméra. Est-ce que c'est facile derrière les caméras, en backstage, en arrière-scène, ou est-ce qu'il y a toujours cette envie-là de vouloir revenir faire ce qu'on est en train de faire en ce moment?
Bien sûr. Donc, comme vous pouvez le savoir, c'est vraiment un métier très passionnant. Et quand on a exercé ça, ça te manque. Tu as des fois la nostalgie. Voilà. Donc, bien sûr, là, dernièrement, quand on était dans notre pays, Bujumbura, et qu'il y avait l'actualité chaude là, et avant que bien sûr les radios soient coupées, éteintes, voilà, brûlées, et voilà, on avait envie, voilà, de se retrouver encore dans le climat, de faire des reportages comme ça, dans le stress et tout, d'aller recueillir les informations, et c'est tellement ça m'a vraiment manqué, ça manque toujours, bien sûr, et voilà, c'est l'une aussi des choses que j'aimerais, que j'avais un projet ici avant de venir, c'est ça, donc c'est de faire des émissions comme ça, et comme vous faites, des émissions là spécifiques avec des sujets très intéressants au public, à la jeunesse par exemple, sur les femmes aussi, sur l'environnement, pourquoi pas. Donc voilà, je me sens encore dans le métier, et j'aimerais encore en plus continuer.
Je dis toujours que le journalisme c'est un virus, une fois qu'on l'a contracté, c'est fini. Hein.
C'est fini, c'est une passion, on a tous envie de revenir derrière le micro.
Absolument.
J'ai fait la radio pendant 7-8 ans, donc voilà, on a vraiment envie de...
On y goûte une fois et c'est parti pour la vie. Tony Sawimana, Alida Bonimana, merci énormément d'être venus, et on vous souhaite une très bonne continuation.
Okay.
You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be right back after the break.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for business. Fidelis Karangwa has the details.
Business stories making headlines today. Gali residents may have to pay more money for foodstuffs and other commodities following an increase in prices across city markets. The increase, which is said to have started since the beginning of this month, has been attributed to low supply of produce from major producing areas. According to a report from the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, this situation is also affecting inflation rates in the country, where it rose from 0.9% in April to 2.2% last month, causing fears that soon residents will not be able to afford their basic needs unless a solution is provided. And with farmers in western and northern provinces have raised concerns over the increase in prices for fertilizers, saying it's affecting their businesses. Farmers said the price has increased from 450 Rwandan francs to 700 Rwandan francs per kilogram, which is very high compared to the income they get from their yields, consequently forcing some of them to stop using fertilizers. Officials from the Rwanda Agricultural Board, however, say they were not aware of these changes, but will quickly address them. Now it's almost end of the month, people, and for us that means it's time for Meet the CEO. And for today's segment, I met with one of the youngest CEOs in the country, and at the moment, Ephraim Remwenge from Rwanda Business Group, and I started by asking him to tell us a bit about himself. Take a look.
Ephraim is a 22-year-old serial entrepreneur. I am the CEO and founder of Rwanda Business Group. I am trained as a management accountant, was educated in Botswana, born and raised, to a Ugandan father and a Rwandan mother. I have been forced to choose, and I love Rwanda more, don't tell my father. But yeah, that's Ephraim. I'm passionate about economic empowerment, empowering myself, empowering other people. I believe that if we can empower people to earn a living and improve their lives, it solves so many other issues. So yeah, I can call myself an Afri-capitalist. I don't know if you know what Afri-capitalism is, but I'm an Afri-capitalist in the true sense. Obviously not easy, especially when you're, okay, that kind of responsibility. And when you look at it from the perspective of running your own business, where you have to find the capital. You know, like when you're just the CEO of another organization, you can go to the shareholders and say, we need capital for expansion. But here you have to find the capital. You have to come up with a vision from the get-go. Like, what is this business about? You're not coming to take over something. So obviously there's that challenge, and then also being young. There's that doubt people have in regards to your ability to do the work. But slowly but surely, remaining consistent is what has helped me. But otherwise, the challenges it hasn't been easy. Blessing and a curse. I have always lacked focus. My attention span is like 2 seconds. Okay. I can only do something for so long. And I remember when I came, okay, it's two-sided. There's that, and then there's also the vision that I had that I wanted to have a business that did many things, like a conglomerate of businesses, collective. So Rwanda is a perfect country because when you come to Rwanda from outside, you actually see so many things that can be done, so many opportunities. So I figured, why not register Rwanda Business Group, and then whatever I do underneath it, I'll create a business, create a team, and then give the team that business after I've reached a certain point, then they run it. Obviously, I keep checking in on a regular basis. So 2012, I registered Rwanda Business Group in Rwanda. And yeah, that's why Rwanda Business Group. But Rwanda Business Group is a group of companies. Our main company imports sugar. We recently went into the export of coffee, and obviously we're going to set up coffee shops, but not in Rwanda. We're looking to set them up.
Why not Rwanda? Competition?
They're already, they're already guys here. Yeah. The need is not here.
Okay.
There's a huge need in Southern Africa. That's one area I really want to go to. Mm-hmm. I was born and raised in Botswana, so I want to take advantage of that. The middle class there is bigger. Mm-hmm. And then recently in 2014 we set up a venture capital fund. Yeah. We also do business development like business plan consultancy, business process re-engineering. We can even help you with registering the company, even though it's very easy. You don't even need to pay us. But if you feel too lazy to go about it, we do that for you. So that was started in 2014. So that's Rwanda Business Group. Yeah. Mind you, the habit is lack of focus, but, it's I think for me it's hungry for knowledge. Mm-hmm. I read a lot. and that's why it seems like I'm way above my age. I can hold my own in a conversation with people way older than me, guys with PhDs, because I have chosen to go read other stuff. So the reading has helped me get where I am, and then also I'm a really strong Christian. So my faith has really helped lay the foundation for so many things. It has helped me have more, like when I run my businesses, there's a moral aspect to it. I'm not just running business for the sake of running it, and that always helps because it helps with attracting talent, it helps with dealing with customers. Like I keep telling people, the Bible is a management book. Yeah. So I mean, there's a verse on customer relations and people don't know it. So for me, that's also another thing that has really contributed to where I am. Humility, value people. If you actually look at where you are in life, you realize that it's not you. It's somebody somewhere who recommended you. It's a friend who talked about you a little too much. It's a customer who decided to trust you with a business. It's a relative who maybe took you in and took care of you. And you find out that these people all play a role towards where we are in life. And it would be really silly of me to go and boast and say, I did this and I did that, when all I did was show up. And I'm not the one who shows up, you know. The other people probably work harder than me, people who are smarter than me, people who are more dedicated than me, but I'm probably ahead of them because of the people in my life. And you find out that I cannot go and boast about anything because it's not me. So value people, value relationships, treat everybody equal, be it the border guy, the motor guy, or a person at the market, or be the CEO. These are both human beings created by God. Treat them with respect and love, and it will take you places. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're working, whatever area in life, if you value people, you will go far.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's 22 years old.
Yes, he is.
First of all, Fidelis, I've never seen you blush this much on or off camera.
I wasn't blushing. I was learning. You know, when I'm learning.
That's what they call it these days.
That's my serious. That's my serious.
Right.
I'm taking in the information.
Right.
That's what I look like.
How impressive is he? He feels very composed, very poised. At 22 years old, he's a CEO.
Yes.
How was it meeting him, and what kind of game did he teach you, so to say?
I think the first thing that you notice about with him is he's very outspoken. He's very free. He knows what he's talking about. You know, it's not always not easy to find people who are like that. They might have a business. They might know what it is, but you know, when they're talking, they like look down and they're not sure. He knows what he's talking about. If he assures you, after 5 minutes of talking to him, you're probably going to invest in his business. That's how serious it is.
Right.
Yeah, and there's that. And then he's also very selfless. That's the other thing that I noticed about him. Because even when we're talking, I kept on asking him, so why did you decide to start this business and all this? And he told me his mission, he plans to, before he dies or before he passes on, he plans to employ at least 1 million people. At least.
Is that realistic?
Yeah,
that's
at
possible?
least. That's his life plan. So wow. He's very selfless. He wants to do things, not just for him, but to help people in the country, to employ people. He says it makes him happy when he knows that someone he's employed is getting money, is able to take their kids to school, has food on the table. That's what makes him happy, not him taking big money to the bank. That's not his
Now, on his journey here, what triggered that entrepreneurial spirit and skill in him? How did it all start?
Well, like I said, he's always had it. The fact that he wanted to help people, but he did accounting in school, so that was also one thing. But so he thought of how can he just put his skills to good use, and he thought why not become an entrepreneur? And he has all these great ideas in his mind, and that's the other thing. He has too many great ideas. He doesn't know what to do with them, so that's why he decided to have a business group. So under the business group, you can have so many other businesses under it, and as opposed to just one business running for one thing. So that's why he decided to start that company. And basically, like I said, I was learning a lot. That's why I was smiling.
That's a bright young man right there.
He really is.
All right. So now, when you were planning on interviewing him, because this is meet the CEO, right?
Yeah.
When you first found out that he was 22, what was your reaction?
I thought, what am I doing with my life?
You thought
I'm not even joking. That's what I thought. In my head, I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Right.
22 and he has a company and he's doing so well and he's, you know, he's very motivated. That's the other thing. He's very focused, and you can see he's going to go places. You don't have to even. He doesn't have to prove to you that he's going to go places.
I mean, he's been on the panel with the president.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly. That's already places. Trust me. Some of us are trying to get there.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So he's already doing great things, and I have to say the future is bright. Like he said, they import sugar, and actually his other plan is he's hoping to start like a sugar factory in Rwanda called Maisha, and so that's his big plan. So you know, investors feel free, you know, all these things.
Okay.
You should probably invest too.
Hey, listen, he can teach me game anytime. All right,
Yeah.
so what can we look forward to in business for the rest of the week?
Well, in business, I attended the PTA signing with Rwanda. You know, Rwanda is going to buy new planes. Actually, there's another one that arrived just last week on Thursday.
A Bombardier as well?
Exactly,
right.
Exactly. So, you know, big things for Rwanda. We're going to be flying a star very soon.
I know you will be. All right.
Well, I understand. You're going to come back in a few minutes with sports, right?
Yeah, I'm Arnold Kizera today. Absolutely. Right, right. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sports news. I'm Regis Isheja. Starting with cycling, Valence Ndaisenga clocked 30 minutes, 9 seconds and 12 splits of seconds to win the men's individual time trial at the National Cycling Championships yesterday in Bugesera. The 22-year-old, who won the national crown for a third consecutive year, attributed the victory to a lot of training he has recently attained at the World Cycling Center in Aigle, Switzerland. Ndaisenga started 2 minutes after Benediction's Javier Hadi, but arrived ahead of the latter, who clocked 1 hour, 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Benediction's Jean Bosco Nsengimana finished second after crossing the line after using 58 minutes and 7 seconds, and finished ahead of Nathan Byukusenge and Gasore Hategeka, who set off before him. In the junior category, Ali of Cycling for All emerged winner ahead of Samuel Mugisha. Moving on to tennis, Spain's David Ferrer has pulled off a Wimbledon on the eve of the tournament because of an elbow injury. Ferrer, who was seeded 8th, had been due to face Britain James Ward in the first round, but will now be replaced in the draw by lucky loser from qualifying Luca Vanni of Italy. Ferrer had been seeded to play fellow Spaniard Rafa Nadal in the quarterfinals, a stage he has reached twice in his career at the grass court tournament. Wimbledon starts this year a bit later than normal, with a 3-week break since the French Open. That gave some players more opportunity to make the transition from the slow red clay to the faster grass surface, and gave others the chance to rest. Roger Federer and Andy Murray have both won grass court tournaments in a build-up to the 3rd Grand Slam of the year. And now to international football. Brazil coach Dunga blamed a mystery virus for his team's shock Copa America exit to Paraguay on Saturday as the most successful footballing nation on the planet struggled to digest another tournament setback. Dunga said as many as 15 members of his squad had been affected by the virus, which he said had disrupted preparation for the quarterfinals against the Paraguayans. Dunga's explanation caused confusion among members of his squad, with midfielder Felipe Luis telling reporters he was unaware of any mass illness amongst his teammates. For the second Copa America in succession, Brazil exited at the quarterfinal stage to the Paraguayans on penalties. While Dunga talked about a mystery virus, others would be left asking whether Brazilian football in general is on its sick bed. Dunga, who captained Brazil's 1994 World Cup winning side, also called on demanding Brazilian fans to be more patient as new players develop. Well, stay tuned, news are coming up next on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Let's take a look now at news-making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world. His His Excellency President Paul Kagame commended the residents of Kicukiro district for their involvement in developing the district as well as the country. President Kagame was speaking after joining residents of Niboye sector in the Kicukiro district who were working to rehabilitate a feeder road in the neighborhood as part of the monthly community service Umuganda. He urged the residents to keep working together with the government to enhance the development of the country. The residents of the area had pledged 25 million francs to improve drainage along the road, of which they have managed to raise almost half. The African Union has called on for immediate release of Secretary General of the National Intelligence and Security Service, General Karenzi Karake. This comes after the African Union Peace and Security Council was called for an emergency meeting last week at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. It strongly condemned the arrest, calling it a violation of the principles of universal jurisdiction. The commissioner of the council, Ambassador Smail Chergi, stated that the arrest of the Rwandan senior official should awaken the continent to stand up and support AU's engagement on the matter because it risks violating the integrity and sovereignty of Africa's states. In a show of solidarity from the other East African countries, Rwanda's delegation, led by Foreign Minister the Honorable Louise Mushikiwabo, was accompanied to the meeting by Ugandan State Minister for Foreign Affairs and Kenya's Attorney General. In regional news, unidentified gunmen reportedly set fire to ballot papers and other material in a district polling station northeast of Burundi on Saturday, days before the parliamentary elections scheduled for today. Election officials say the attack, which comes amid fears of renewed violence in the country, appeared to be an isolated incident. Opposition parties in Burundi say they will boycott the election in protest of President Pierre Nkurunziza's bid for a third term. The parliamentary elections, which are already being pushed back after the protests are set to begin today, while the presidential election is scheduled to take place on July 15th. And in international news, the government of Tunisia has deployed armed police to patrol the streets of Tunisia's beach resorts after an Islamist militant attack in Sousse, killing 39 foreigners. This comes after gunman Saif Rezghi opened fire on a nearby beach in the town, killing the foreigners who were mostly Britons. Tunisia's Prime Minister Habib Essid announced a security clampdown after the attack was claimed by Islamic State. Many tourists left the country, which relies heavily on tourism for jobs and foreign currency revenues. The attack is said to be the deadliest in the history of Tunisia. All right, stay tuned. We'll take a look at a special edition of Hot Topics right after this. We'll be right back.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Today we wanted to make the focus of our hot topic the subject dear to many Rwandans across the country and abroad. In the past week, we have seen thousands express their outrage against the arrest of National Intelligence Chief General Karenzi Karake.
Here in Kigali, protesters gathered outside the British High Commission and camped out to get their message heard. And joining us now in studio is Christine Babazi, a member of the Young Generation Forum. Welcome to the show, Christine.
Welcome to the show. So what you guys are doing is, it takes a lot, because whether I pass in front of the British High Commission in the morning, you're there. Whether it's in the evening, you're still there. Tell us about what it takes. What first started that movement of camping out in front of the British High Commission?
Thank you. What started this protest is regarding our General Lalise Karachi, who was arrested in UK, and we are protesting against his release because if you're to consider the heroes in Rwanda, he should be counted one, because he's among the people who stopped genocide in this country, and unfortunately and disappointingly, they arrest him. Yet there are genociders who committed genocide just walking on the streets out there in UK and other countries, who they cannot even ask why or touch or bring them back to Rwanda, and they arrest him. So we are there as a youth in different groups from different public servants, youth, women, private sector, genocide survivors like widows and orphans, and students, and many other young Rwandan young generations. So we are there to protest against this allegation that was put on our General Karenzi Karake. And surely we can't take a rest until we see him.
Right.
Now, you just made a good point. You said you can't take a rest until, he's back in the country. But yesterday, the mayor of Kigali City, Mr. Fidel Ndaisaba, appealed to the Rwandans, yesterday, and asked people to, stop the protest, the peaceful protest. And, he said, people should now calm down. The message has been heard. Something's being done to try and solve the situation. How do you feel about his message? How are you, the people who are there on the ground? How did you take this message?
Because Rwandans were always obedient. We love our country as youth, but we have to be obedient to their requests. But this, as we had planned, it was like we were there exchanging shifts, 24 hours, like 4 districts were there in these days, and every other people after work would come. We're going to obey this, but it is going to continue on the media, TV, radios, newspapers, Twitter, WhatsApp, everything. We're going to share this and going to continue until we get back our General Karenzi Karake back into Rwanda.
Now, there's a lot of people saying on the streets and also on social media, like you just mentioned, there's a lot of people saying, what good can this protest do? Because putting in mind that General Karenzi Karake was in court 3 days ago, that the next court date is in October, that there's a possibility of being extradited to Spain, you have a lot of people saying, well, camping out in front of the British High Commission, yes, it does send a message, but how powerful can that be?
It is known even in the world out there. These protests is everywhere. But for us is to make out our point. Our objective is to work 24 hours and make presence known and demand the release of General Karenzi Karake. We've submitted our petitions in letters. We've given it from different groups. It is given to the ambassador of UK, United Kingdom, and he promised that he's going to convey that message to them. As we wait for the court, again, as they said, he's going to be going back and they follow their protocols. We believe and hope that if we get out from UK Embassy, as we are requested to do so, we're going to continue from wherever we are, in our cells, in our sectors, at school, everywhere. Like I said, through media. We don't want, surely we have to be obedient, like I said. But that will not stop us from writing and talking through media, through any voice. Even diaspora, we have diaspora, Rwandan, young generation from in diaspora. They will stay there. They'll continue to go to the British Embassy, wherever it is, all over the world, and continue knocking the doors until the doors are open, as believers say. We believe that it will make an impact.
Now, clearly, there's a lot of effort being put into you guys being heard by the British Council and British Embassy and all this, and you know, the UK in general. But you know, like even the first day of the camp out when you guys went to protest, the British ambassador, the first thing they said is, you know, they're going to try and resolve this because they want to maintain a good financial aid relationship with Rwanda, and for them it always comes down to that. So do you think that they're even listening to you and that they're actually going to take your request seriously, or for them they think, you know, at some point, do you think they're going to think at some point, you know, if we cut off financial aid, if we threaten them, then maybe they'll stop and they'll listen, they'll go back to the, you know, being quiet and letting us do our thing?
Truly, we believe that if we keep knocking and talking and telling people the truth, as our culture, as Rwandan, when we learn from the past of what genocide did to this country and all Rwandans, whether they consider it or not, we'll continue speaking out to the world until the world will hear the truth and understand. Maybe tomorrow is they have done to Karenzi Kalache, and there are many other heroes who rescued Rwanda from genocide, who saved many people, thousands of people. So as thousands of Rwanda, we're going to continue doing that until they understand.
Now, there are two hashtags on social media, Free KK and Twanze Agasuzuguru. His Excellency President Paul Kagame had a very deep speech at the Parliament the other day, where he addressed the situation of General Karenzi's arrest, saying there's a lot of ways the West has been trying to handle our own business while we can do it ourselves, and, you know, trying to police what's happening in Africa while it's a sovereign continent. We have sovereign countries. Among the people in front of the British High Commission who are camping there, tell us about the level of anger, of outrage about what's actually happening in the UK at the moment. Among the people camping in front of the UK High Commission, the level of anger and outrage in the people, when you talk to them, when you speak to them, what do you feel from them?
The truth, everyone is disappointed in UK. As per the relationship we had as Rwanda and British government, they're disappointed and they're really upset. And for them, if they were given that right, they can stay forever until Kalachi comes back. They are women, they are youth, they are old people, they are young kids. We chase them to go home, they don't want to go. It's amazing how Rwandans love themselves and have that friendship and relationship, how they love each other, besides whatever genociders did, and it's counted on innocent people like Karenzi Kalache. Now, so no one is happy about it.
Right. Now, at the moment, you're planning on stopping the protest for the moment. How long is that going to go for?
Until the government officials tell us or takes another step, or the city of Kigali does. But as you know, Rwandans, we are always there for our people. We're always there. We take him as our leader, as our hero, as our uncle or a brother or a sister, like any of you or any Rwandans, wherever they are in the world. We are going to be there.
Now, Fidelis, remember there was one thing where everybody was asking the day the protest started in front of the British High Commission. A lot of people were saying, how did they get together to form this protest this quick? Who actually got together to make sure everybody organized the whole thing? How did it work? How did the beginning? How was the beginning like?
The beginning was when we all heard the news. It was so touching and disappointing, and we were all asking, what is the next step? Right? No one called these people to go to the UK embassy. We just found ourselves there and we wanted to know what is happening. So the leaders, of course, had to come because people were coming. But the truth is everyone wanted to know what has happened and why. Because we're not expecting this from United Kingdom to do this as the relationship we have. Not that everyone always think of Africa as we are based it on lying and waiting for their aid. We have done it. We stopped genocide ourselves, and we believe we can stop this ourselves. And we keep fighting for our rights as Africans, as we stand.
Now, my other question would be, clearly that you were asked to stop the protest because, you know, security issues, noise pollution, all these things. that were happening during the protests. But if someone wants to be involved, and clearly now the protests have been stopped, what can they do? How can they be part of this movement? What are the social media websites that people can go to? Basically, what kind of help do you need, and what can someone do, and where can they go to provide their help? I'll give you an example before I go direct to your answer. It's to your question. Like private sector no one told them, but they just 2 days ago, they sat together. People are in different business, like private sector. We sat down, or they sat down and thought of how can we contribute to this. You remember they charged 1 million euros, and we can't allow the government itself to do that. We need to participate. So we have raised like 130 million at the moment, and this campaign is going to continue. If it is going to continue to go up to schools, it will go up to anywhere in the world, in the country, as long as we get to what we want. So I think it's going to, like, we are in different groups, and as we communicated to reach, to be exchanging shifts to be there, we're going to continue communicating as we get updates.
Now, I saw on social media that Minister, the Honorable Minister Philbert Nsengimana was there, that he came to rally with you guys, to protest with you guys. Who else showed up? Who else showed up at the protest to be in your corner?
Truly, many people showed up, because it's not a family issue, it's a national issue. During the day, the district, the mayors, the vice-mayors, were spending them with them nights there. They were shifting. Everybody, only that there were other activities that were going on. It was not stopping it. People would go, others would stay. So it was like in the shifts, everyone. Without mentioning their names, you have many mayors, you have many parliamentarians, we have different ministers, we have desktop chambers. They were coming and going. But we as youth, I think that's why you saw Minister Fribel had interview, because the big part was youth that was there.
And he's the Minister of Youth and
ICT. And he's the Minister of Youth and ICT.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Christine, we appreciate you being on the show. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
And keep the struggle going. The Rwandan spirit is hard to be broken, so we appreciate that.
Sure, very true.
All right. Well, don't forget, we'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at RiseandShineRW. Like us on Facebook and check out Rise and Shine Rwanda. Like us on Facebook. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page, where you can catch all the shows and the reports we do. Find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We'd love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but do let us know if you have an idea for the program. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Fidelis Karangwa.
We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow, so do join us then. But for now, from the two of us, and on behalf of Makeda and Arnold, we're saying bye-bye, have a great day and a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.